Hi again from the garden. So I am out here this afternoon doing a few end of the season projects that I wanted to share with you guys before the weather finally turns for winter. Tomorrow we are supposed to have rain all day long, and then Friday we actually have a chance for snow. So there are a few things that I wanted to get buttoned up in here before winter actually sets in. Now, over the course of the last couple weeks, my husband and I have been really busy in the garden, pulling all of the annuals, pulling all of the weeds. I got all of my dahlia tubers dug and stored for the winter, as you saw in a video that I posted a couple weeks ago. But there's a few things left in the garden that I wanted to do for winter, and so that's what I wanted to show you in this video. So one of the main things that I am out here working on today is adding amendments to all of my beds. And now, if you're not familiar what the term amending your soil means, basically I am adding nutrients back into the soil that were used over the course of the growing season. So this year I chose to use a product that I have used before and was very happy with. It is a bagged soil mix by Nature's Care. It's the organic garden soil, and it is filled with all types of good things like kelp meal, bone meal, worm castings. So I am adding this to the tops of all of my growing beds, with the exception of where I am planting my tulips. And I really hope to have my tulips in soon. The only reason that they are not in the ground yet is that I have not received all of them in the mail. But as soon as I get those in the mail, I will be doing a video on that and getting those in the ground. And you will see my process for planting tulips. But I am amending all of my grow space except where my tulips are going. Now, I will probably go around and again add some amendments to the soil in the spring, but the reason that I am choosing to also do it in the winter is because I want those amendments to work their way down in the soil over the course of the winter. So as the snow melts in the spring and the water seeps down into the soil, it'll carry those nutrients down into the soil with it. The other space in my garden that I am amending is my strawberry beds. Now, these are in need of a little help, which you can clearly see. They need additional soil added. My strawberry plants set out a lot of runners this year, which I'm really happy with, but I want to make sure that they're fully protected for the winter. So I am adding the Nature's Care organic raised bed mix to these beds. This is the same type of soil that I used in the beginning when I put these beds together. So I have had really great luck with it. The next project that I'm doing a little work on today is this raised bed, which also needs help. I put this in probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and to be honest, I did not build it right in the first place. As you can see, it's starting to fall apart in the front. So next spring, I will be completely rebuilding this bed. But to get started over winter, I want to help make the soil a little bit better. Now, also when I built this bed, I just put the dirt right on top of the grass, which was a total rookie mistake. Never do that. I literally still have tons of grass growing up through the soil every year. So my plan for this winter is to cover this bed with black landscape fabric in hopes that over the course of 6 or so months, it will kill some of that off. And then in the spring, when it's time to plant, I can rebuild the front of this bed and add soil amendments to the top, and hopefully it'll be a little better for next year's growing season. And the last project that I'm doing today is actually something new that I have never done before. I have read a lot about it, and so I really wanted to try it this year. I'm gonna make some leaf mold. So our backyard at home has a lot of maple trees bordering our property, and our yard is pretty much covered in leaves right now. So I decided to take advantage of all those free leaves and make myself some leaf mold. Now, leaf mold is something that I will not reap the benefits from for probably at least a year, but I can get started now, and if I do it every growing season, I will have a really nice supply of leaf mold every year for my garden. So the process that I'm using is super simple. I raked up a bunch of leaves from my yard, filled 5 bags. They were pretty dry, so I ended up adding some moisture to the leaves once they were in the bag. I poked some holes in the bags with my potato fork and tucked them away for winter storage. That is it. So over the course of the year, these leaves will break down into a really nice compost material that I can use to top my flower beds or my raised vegetable garden bed at home. Well, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the projects that I'm doing to prep my bed for winter and to get it ready for next spring. I hope to have a tulip video up for you guys very soon. As soon as my tulips arrive, my plan is to get those in the ground. And then stay tuned over the course of the rest of the fall and winter, because I'm going to be sharing what I learned my first year as a flower farmer, all of my plans for next year, all of the spring bulbs that I'll be planting, and everything else in between. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.